Indeed, he's had such an experience himself on board Eastern Airlines Flight 539, coming into Washington one stormy night.
Well, all of a sudden, just after one of the more intense crashes of lightning, there appeared from the pilot's compartment a most beautiful blue ball, about the size of a football, near enough the size of a football, a lovely thing, which moved at a slow pace, about this sort of speed, down the aisle of the aircraft, a fast walking pace. I could certainly feel no sensation of heat, although it passed at arm's length from my face. I suppose it must have been a few seconds, I can't remember exactly how long thereafter, that the air hostess came clambering up the aisle. She flopped into my lap, she put her arms around my neck, and she said, "Did you see that St. Elmo's fire?" Well, I tried to console her that it wasn't St. Elmo's fire she'd seen. St. Elmo's fire, by the way, are the beautiful corona that you see over the tops of the masts of ships and things like that. But this indeed was ball lightning. We'd indeed been very, very fortunate to see at very close quarters ball lightning actually travelling down the middle of a screened aircraft.
Ball lightning is still a major scientific mystery. In fact, until quite recently, many scientists refused to admit that it even existed. In the case of other mysteries of the second kind, we often have quite good films and photographs, yet we are still arguing about their interpretation.
Does this film, shot in 1936, show the Loch Ness Monster? Did it surface once more 41 years later to be captured again by the camera? Is this the footprint of the Yeti, the abominable snowman of the Himalayas? And does this shaky film taken in a forest in Northern California really show Bigfoot, another ape man who has so far eluded all his pursuers? This strange light which flew over southern England near Aylesbury remains unidentified. But was it a spacecraft from another planet? This gruesome corpse was trawled up by fishermen in the South Pacific. Is it what it appears to be, an unknown monster of the sea? When the camera seems to capture an African snake twice as long as any ever recorded, or a missing link killed by explorers in South America, or an unknown species of big cat roaming the plains of Africa, can we believe the evidence the film conveys?
Apart from the films and photographic evidence for these mysteries of the second kind, there are perplexed and often frightened eyewitnesses who'd like an answer just as much as I would.
Gently.
Water bailiff Alex Campbell reports he's seen the Loch Ness Monster 18 times. His closest encounter came one night as he rowed in a boat with a policeman friend, Constable John Fraser.
There was this terrific upsurge of water. Terrific. I knew right away what it was. And poor John Fraser didn't, and he was scared stiff. And he said, "What in the name of heaven is that?" Oh, I said, "Don't worry, John, it's okay. It'll be okay." I said, "It's messy." Oh, that calmed him down a bit. But this surge kept going on, and then after what seemed to be 2 or 3 minutes, the surge still going on, we heard it breathing. And it was fantastic itself, that, because it was sounded exactly like a horse that had been running, and it was sounded like this. Just like that.
This Belgian helicopter pilot, Colonel Remy van Leerde, was menaced by a gigantic snake. He was operating in the Congo.
Now when I came down on that snake in his hole, on approaching it at the minimum speed, I would say at 20-25 miles, and I would say at about 25-30 foot up, the snake raised up by about, I would say, 10 foot. And I could very clearly and closely see the head, which was looking, and I could not make a better comparison, as with a very large horse, with big, very, very big jaws, looking triangular. And you're just standing up like there to me, and I feel and I'm convinced if I had been in its range, it would have struck at me, it would have been striking me.
The steamy airport at Palma Sur, set deep in banana country near Costa Rica's border with Panama. Dr. Luis Gomez is director of Costa Rica's National Museum.
Bien, gracias.
He's flown in to hunt for any clue which might explain one of the world's most intractable mysteries, the giant stone balls of Costa Rica. Huge and uncannily perfect spheres, handmade and of unknown origin. They're even beside the airport runway. But Gomez's goal lies in the heart of the banana plantations, where an archaeologist has reported a new find. For 50 years since the giant stone balls were first brought to their attention, archaeologists have traveled here hopefully, but none has arrived at any explanation of their purpose or their date. In charge of this dig is Mike Snarskis.
Hello, Mike.
Please.
How are you?
It's about time you're here. This is hard work.
I imagine so in this heat.
No, listen, this is something we found, not only this one, which looks to be about the size of the one that's in the Palmar Airport, but also over here about 100 yards, another large one. Right here behind you, still another. I think it's been broken, but looks large as well. We probably have the arrangement that we read about years ago of balls in lines.
There's absolutely nothing to tell who made the spheres or when or why. Bewildered archaeologists can merely clutch at straws.
The fact that they are in lines brings into my mind the possibility that they represent